Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from TableTopBanter, and today we have another video for you. Now this is going to be the first video in a new series. I'm naming the series From Primed to Painted, and what I'm going to do is take you through, almost in like a painting tutorial style, some of the techniques that I'll be using for each model. So the model you can see in front of you is a Space Marine Captain. In particular, he is Captain Kador Brengenan of the Kakarian Crimsons, one of my special character models. And my big plan is to take you through step by step. So I'm going to go through, in this model particularly, painting metallics, wet blending in the future video for the Lightning Claw. I'm also going to take you through thinning paint and probably some text details, possibly a few more things on top of that. But really the idea of this series is just to get you to try and advance the techniques you use. I mean, I'm not an exceptional painter. It's very fair to say that. However, I've picked up a lot of skills in the last 9 months I've been painting. It's taken me from just doing base coats and putting them with a black, well, watered down black acrylic paint, to using an airbrush, thinning my paint, edge highlighting, trying to do facial details and the like. So what I'm hoping you can see here is a nice like building block for you to advance your painting techniques. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'll be moving the camera around in a second. This is just like a showcasey part of the video, and what I'm going to be doing is showing you how I thin my paints and how that can make a big difference. And we'll probably be looking in detail of painting the cloak up, because having a thinner paint for the cloak can make a big difference and makes life a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut across to that, and let's get cracking. Okay guys, so obviously I've introduced this series now, and this is going to be the first part of it. So we're going to talk about thinning your paints. Now I'm doing this all reversed, so it might take a little while for me to get used to doing. I'm trying out this new format where I actually film it, and what I'm going to show you first of all is how I thin my paints. So we're going to be doing the cloak in this video. Here I have my Citadel paint of choice. I don't know how clear that is going to be. Wazdaka red, it should focus. There you go, Wazdaka red. Now obviously I've put mine in dropper bottles for ease. Come on, focus again. Just focus. Hopefully it'll actually do something. Maybe if I drag it back using the model. Nice and steady. There we go. Okay, so now we're back into focus. What I'm going to show you first is how I thin my paints out. So we take the Citadel dropper bottle, which I have obviously made already, and we just pop a little bit on our palette. So hopefully it comes out. There's one drop. I'd probably put 2 in. There's 2 little drops of paint there, as you can see. And what we also take is some of this. Now I use Vallejo airbrush thinner. That's just because I also use an airbrush, so I find that it thins paint just as well. So normally a 2:1 ratio sort of does the trick. So we're going to pop in 1 blob of Vallejo paint thinner and take our brush and quite simply stir together. There we go. Boom. Thinned out the paint. It'll apply a lot nicer now. And there you have it. So that's how you thin your paint. It's really that simple. You can use water, but thinner always works a little nicer. So what I'm going to go over now is just applying a thinned paint. Now you have to really be patient. Bear in mind that this paint is a lot thinner than the Games Workshop paint originally is. So if it comes through a little see-through, that's okay. We'll probably end up doing 2 coats. But you just apply nice and gently, and what you'll find is the paint flows a lot nicer. So it really just goes on without any issues at all. Just be careful not to go over the edges and stuff, obviously. You want your model looking as nice as possible. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the camera whilst I continue my work, and I will come back to you once I've done the first coat. Alright guys, so it's been about 5 minutes since I've, maybe less, since I've been gone. But here is a look at the first coat. It's still drying. And what I'll probably do is just show you how it's gone on. Yes, it's a bit wet in some patches. Don't panic, okay? It takes a little longer to dry because of the thinner, but it just goes on so smoothly. There's no problems at all. Took barely any time. If you see any red on the other bits of the mini, it's just because, hey, I'm going to paint over that in a bit. There's no point me worrying about it. It's only a thin layer of red. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to come back to you once this and the second layer has dried, and you can just see how much of a difference 2 layers makes and how clean the cloak will look. And yep, so I'm going to cut away to that, and I will see you in a bit. And here you have it. We have the final second coat of red onto the back of the Mini. Here we are on the cloak, and look how smooth that is. Absolutely lovely. Very few brush strokes. Gave me the opportunity to put different shades in, so there was a more natural shadow because I didn't attack that as much, so it didn't make it more vibrant. Really came out lovely and smooth. Obviously got some areas of touch-up that need doing, but that's okay because I'm coming in on those with some different colour. But yeah, there you go. Thinning your paints can make your life a lot easier, particularly for edge highlighting and laying down these wonderful smooth flowing base coats for something so blanket as a cape, if you'll pardon the pun, as opposed to the front of the Mini where there's lots of details. What you want to be doing is thinning that paint down to get this lovely even gloss sort of effect. I may even give this one more coat. I haven't really decided yet. I do know that it needs shading in the recesses, so I may not give it another coat. But there you go. Thinning your paints can make all the difference, and it's 2 really, really simple steps. Step 1, 2 drops of your paint or 1 thick paintbrush full. Step 2, 1 drop of your thinner or 1 paintbrush full. 1 thin paintbrush full. And that gets you this really nice consistency to work with. Now I would recommend using something that's known as a wet palette. I'm yet to learn how to use one of those, going to watch some tutorials and then feed the information into you guys. But this gives you a very simple way of getting a nice even base coat done, and it's super handy for doing your edge highlighting as well. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this new series, this kind of from primed to painted series. We're going to really look at doing the basing as well as hopefully the wet blending of the lightning claw, as you can see here, and maybe even some looking at the metallics for my combi weapon here. Thank you very much for watching as ever. Don't forget there are 2 links in the description below. The first link is to the Tabletop Banter blog. Go check it out. Harry's been working hard. Got some Orc content coming up soon, as you can tell by the base. Could be some rivalry here. And the second link is to the Legion of Gamza Facebook page. I'm very proud to be a council member of the Legion, and lots of great guys producing lots of great content, so go and check it out. Right, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, have fun.